He was a billionaire with everything: mansions, private jets, respect. But one wrong choice, one betrayal, and his own family threw him out like trash. Tonight, he sleeps on a cold bench in Lagos, hungry and forgotten. But wait, destiny is not finished with him. What happens next will break your heart, but it will also open your eyes. This is not just a story, it's a life lesson you will never forget.
Pride built his empire. Betrayal destroyed it. But the real lesson is for you. Don't miss the full story. Hit subscribe now and join us on Tales by Sammie, where every tale holds a mirror to life. Watch to the end, because the twist will leave you speechless.
I was once a man everyone in Lagos admired. My name is Chike. Born in Enugu, raised in struggles, but Lagos turned me into a billionaire. My mansion in Lekki was the talk of the town. I had fleets of cars, a private jet, and staff at my command. People called me Odogu. I wore pride like a crown and thought nothing could bring me down. I never imagined life could strip me naked in one night. I worked hard in my youth, rising from an office boy to a business mogul. My company stretched across oil, real estate, and banking. I gave orders and people obeyed. I treated workers like tools, not humans. I believed they should thank me for giving them jobs. If they erred, I shouted, humiliated, and sometimes even sacked them without warning. Pride is a dangerous spirit. I never saw how it was eating my soul. I didn't know my biggest downfall would come not from outsiders, but from the people I trusted most, my own brother Ifeanyi, and the woman I thought would be my wife, Ada. Life in Lekki was paradise. My morning started with chefs serving breakfast on golden trays. Drivers polished my Rolls Royce and G-Wagon. My swimming pool glistened under the sun. Friends gathered at my house for parties where champagne flowed like water. I lived like a king. Ada, my fiancée, was always by my side. Beautiful, elegant, and stylish, she called me my king. Together we became a symbol of power on Instagram. People envied us, and I fed on their envy. I love showing off, posting pictures with captions like, "Success is my surname." Behind the lights and glamour, my heart grew colder. If a staff complained of low pay, I laughed. If a friend asked for help, I mocked them before giving. I thought fear was respect. I didn't know I was sowing hatred all around me. Ifeanyi, my younger brother, worked as my business manager. I trusted him with passwords, contracts, and accounts. He smiled at me, praised me, and said he was proud to call me brother. I thought we were inseparable. But Ifeanyi lived under my shadow. People always compared us. "Why can't you be like your brother Chike?" they told him. That planted bitterness in his heart. He loved money, but he didn't want to hustle. Instead of warning me about my arrogance, he fed it. "Brother, you are the greatest. Nobody can touch you." His words massaged my pride, while secretly he was plotting with Ada to destroy me. Ada was everything a man could desire. Tall, light-skinned, with a charming smile, she stole my heart from the moment we met. I pampered her with cars, jewelry, and trips abroad. She never worked, yet our accounts overflowed with money I sent. To the world, we were the perfect couple. People said we would have the wedding of the century. Ada pretended to love me deeply, but behind her sweet words, she was already speaking with someone else. Through Ifeanyi, she met Uche, a smooth-talking fraudster. Together, the three of them began plotting how to take all my wealth. I was busy preparing for a wedding. They were preparing for my funeral in wealth. Life always gives warnings before disaster, but pride makes a man blind. Sometimes I noticed Ada's strange phone calls. Ifeanyi avoided my eyes when I asked about some transactions. My driver once said, "Oga, not everyone around you is real." I laughed and almost fired him for daring to speak. My accountant once complained of missing documents, but I shouted at him until he apologized. Friends told me to slow down, but I thought they were jealous. The signs were clear, but I ignored them. Pride deafened my ears and blinded my eyes. One evening, Ifeanyi brought a deal. "Brother, this oil contract is massive. We will double our money in months," he said. Ada also whispered, "My love, take it. This is destiny. Imagine your power after this." The proposal looked real. There were documents, seals, and even a supposed foreign investor. Unknown to me, Uche the fraudster created everything. Without checking deeply, I signed. I transferred billions into the account thinking I was about to rise higher. That signature was the key that opened the gate of my downfall. The next morning, Ada disappeared. Her phones went off. Ifeanyi was gone too. His apartment was empty. I rushed to the bank, only to discover the account was fake. My billions had vanished. My heart stopped. My world crumbled. The newspapers carried the story. Lekki billionaire scammed by close associates. Friends avoided me, creditors chased me, and staff mocked me behind my back. The betrayal from my own brother and fiancé cut deeper than any knife. I felt naked in the middle of Lagos. Creditors came like vultures. I had borrowed heavily for the deal. Banks froze my accounts. One by one, I sold my cars, my houses, and my businesses. Still, it wasn't enough. People I once helped turned away. They said Chike was too proud. Let him taste suffering. Even my staff abandoned me. In months, I went from a man of billions to a man of nothing. One night, after debt collectors chased me, I found myself at Oshodi Bus Park. The benches were cold. The air smelled of smoke and roasted corn. Drivers shouted, conductors cursed. I, Chike the billionaire, slept on a wooden bench. The first night, tears choked my eyes. I remembered my golden bed in Lekki. Now rats ran beside me. Hunger pained my stomach. The mighty had fallen. Pride had brought me low. At the park, I met Musa, a shoe shiner. Poor but kind, he shared food with me. Brother, life is turn by turn, he said. He never mocked me. He listened to my story. Chike, you lost money, not your life. You can start again, Musa encouraged me. His words gave me hope. For the first time, I realized humility had more power than pride. Musa taught me how to polish shoes. I bent down to shine people's shoes, the same people who once bowed before me. They laughed at me, but I kept walking. Every naira I earned humbled me. I learned the value of sweat, not pride. Slowly, my heart began to change. At night, I lay awake on the bench. I thought about how I treated my staff, how I mocked the poor, how I believed money was God. Tears filled my eyes. I whispered, God, forgive me. I now know wealth is nothing without kindness. That prayer was the first step of my healing. One afternoon, a man stopped at Musa's shoe stand. He looked at me closely. Aren't you Chike, the billionaire? My heart jumped. I wanted to deny, but I nodded. He introduced himself as Mr. Benson, an old colleague. He said, I heard about your fall, but I also see humility in your eyes now. Come see me tomorrow. That night, I couldn't sleep. Was this a trap or a second chance? I went to Mr. Benson's office in Ikeja. He offered me a small role in his logistics company. It's not much, but it's honest, he said. I accepted with joy. From polishing shoes, I now carried files and helped organize deliveries. I worked with all my heart. Staff respected me because I respected them. Slowly, I started saving again. Months passed. Mr. Benson promoted me. Chike, your humility and wisdom are rare, he said. I became a supervisor. I led with kindness, not pride. I encouraged staff, supported them, and treated everyone with respect. For the first time in years, I felt true happiness. Humility had raised me higher than pride ever did. One day, I met Grace, a young accountant in the company. She was simple, humble, and kind. Unlike Ada, she valued honesty, not wealth. We became friends, then closer. Grace stood by me even though I was rebuilding. Her love was real. She reminded me that true love is not about money, but about heart. One evening, I received shocking news. Ifeanyi had been arrested in Ghana. He and Uche had fallen out and Uche ran away with the remaining money. Ifeanyi was caught in fraud. When I saw him in prison, he cried, Brother, forgive me. Greed destroyed me. I wept too. Betrayal hurt, but I chose forgiveness. Ada's story ended in shame. The money finished, Uche abandoned her. She returned to Lagos begging for help. People mocked her. She sent messages to me, but I never replied. I had forgiven her in my heart, but I knew some doors must remain closed. Her beauty faded, her pride melted, and she became a shadow of herself. With hard work, I rose higher. Mr. Benson made me a partner. My savings grew into investments. Slowly, I rebuilt wealth, but this time with humility. I remember the bus park bench. That memory kept me grounded. Wealth returned, but pride never returned. I married Grace in a small but joyful ceremony. No gold-plated invitations, no flamboyance, just family, friends, and love. Unlike Ada, she stood by me when I was low. Now she shared in my rising. That day, I realized true riches are not mansions or jets, but love and humility. I started a foundation for the homeless. I visited bus parks, giving food, clothes, and jobs. I never forgot Musa, who once shared bread with me. I bought him a shop. I vowed never again to look down on anyone. This brought me peace more than any billions ever did. People asked, "Chiki, why are you so humble now?" I smiled and said, "Because I once slept on a bus park bench." I told them pride can destroy faster than poverty. Only humility can raise a man again. Life had broken me, but God had rebuilt me better. Grace and I built a home filled with laughter. No lies, no betrayal, just trust. We faced challenges together and prayed together. She reminded me daily, "Chike, never forget where you came from." And I never did. Her love healed wounds Ada left behind. I traveled back to Enugu, my birthplace. I built schools and hospitals there.
The same people who once mocked my poverty now blessed me. I told the children, I was once proud and lost everything. Learn humility early, and you will rise without falling. Their smiles were my greatest reward. Today I tell my story not as a billionaire, but as a man who learns the greatest lesson. Pride fades, but humility and kindness raise a man again. I lost billions, but I gained wisdom. I lost Ada, but I gained grace. I lost pride, but I found humility. So when you see me, don't call me Odogu Billionaire. Call me Chike, the man who once slept in a bus park and rose again through humility. What do you think, my people? Was Chike truly richer when he had billions, or when he found humility and love with grace? Tell me in the comments. Your voice matters in this tale. If this story touched your heart, don't just scroll. Like, share, and subscribe to Tales by Sammie for more stories that heal, teach, and inspire. Someone you know needs this lesson today.